Welcome to this session on Finding Your Why, brought to you by the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Leadership at Atlanta Technical College. Our agenda is as follows. We'll start with an introduction, then move into what is your why, then a video about the topic, and then look at the issue from two lenses, finding your why and why it matters, then a video on the topic, and then discuss why it's all important. Then end with an activity on finding your why and an exit ticket. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Sonya McCoy-Wilson, and I'm the Associate Vice President of Learning. I have a Doctor of Education in Learning, Leadership, and Organization Development from the University of Georgia. I have a Master of Arts in Literary Studies and a Bachelor of Arts in English from Georgia State University. I specialize and publish in the areas of adult education, adult learning, change leadership, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, race, gender, trauma, and oppression. Let's get started. So, what is your why? Mark Twain tells us that the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. So every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm going to show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, you're a musical instructor. Can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I see.
Okay. here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
Thank you, Michael Jr. When you know your why, your what becomes clearer and more impactful. There's all this talk about finding your why. Well, what is your why? Your why is not your purpose. Your purpose is what you do. Your why is the reason you do what you do. Your why is the sum total of who you are. Your why is your mission. Your why is your calling. Your why is your conviction. So stay tuned for some practical ways to find or discover your why.
Find a friend you love, and one of those people who, if you called them at 3:00 in the morning, you know they'd take your call, and you would take theirs. Don't do this with a spouse. Don't do this with a sibling. Don't do this with a boyfriend or girlfriend. Those relationships are too close. But find a best friend and ask them this simple question: why are we friends? And they're going to look at you like you're crazy, because it's very hard for the human brain to put our feelings into words, because the part of the brain that controls our feelings doesn't control language. This is why we use metaphors and analogies, and why we struggle to tell people how we actually feel. It's because it's a different part of the brain. And so they're going to look at you and be like, I don't know. Why are you asking me this? And you say, come on, I know you've been there for me my whole life. And then you actually stop asking the question why, ironically. You actually ask the question what. You say, come on, what specifically is it about me that I know you'd be there for me no matter what? And they're going to hem and haw because it's hard to put into words. Don't help them. Don't let anybody else help them. And they're going to start describing you. I don't know. You're funny. You're smart. You're honest. You've always been there for me. You go, good. You play devil's advocate. Good. That's the definition of a friend. What specifically is about me that I'd know you'd be there for me no matter what? And again, they'll hem and haw, and some will get through this quickly, and some will get through it slowly, and it'll be a struggle, and you have to continue to play devil's advocate. Good, that's the definition of a close friend. What specifically is it about me? And eventually, they'll give up. Eventually, they'll stop describing you, and they'll start describing themselves. Like my friend said to me, Simon, I don't know. All I know is that I can sit in a room with you. I don't even have to talk to you, and I feel inspired, and I got goosebumps. In fact, I'm getting them right now. They will put into words the value you have in their life, and you will have the emotional reaction. You'll either well up with tears or you will get goosebumps. This puts you in the ballpark. This is where your why lives. And if you do this with multiple friends, they will say the same kind of thing. In fact, sometimes they'll say the same exact thing, because your why is the thing you give to the world, and amongst your closest and best friends, it is the space you fill in their lives. So that's a fun little way you can find your why. The simple answer is no. A why is the sum total of who you are. It is the sum total of the experiences you had when you were a kid, the way you were raised, what you got from your parents, your family, your friends, that made you who you are. You can change the way you navigate the world. You can change what you do, but you can't change who you are. Our lives offer us opportunity to live in balance with who we are or not. Like if we start doing things that are counter to who we are, our friends say to us, it's like, I don't know who you are anymore, right? And that is what your why is. Your why is the fundamental core of what inspires you. It is the spark that drives you. And our whys are fully formed probably by our mid to late teens. The youngest why discovery I've ever done was a 16-year-old. And that's it. So no, a why does not change. If anything, crisis reveals it to us, but it doesn't change it. I don't care what someone's motivation is. My only rule is they have to want it, that it should never be thrust upon them. So I will never coerce, push, convince, or pressure someone to learn their why. They have to decide they want it. It's like the old joke, how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? One, but the light bulb has to really want to change. It's the same thing. Like, I will help my friends. Like, my friends all know that if they ask me to help them find their why, the answer will always be yes, but they have to ask. They have to ask. It's the same thing. So I want someone ideally and philosophically to do it, for inspirational reasons. But if they're going through a hard period or a dark period, or there's fear, then if this is a tool that helps, then maybe I don't care what the motivation is. Maybe I don't care if it's for inspirational reasons, or maybe I could argue that it's all inspirational. If you're trying to come out of darkness to find light, that's pretty damn inspiring.
And so, another interpretation of finding your why is something called Why It Matters, the Sherpa Guide to What You Are Looking For. This is Sherpa Coaching's guide to finding your why, written by Brenda Corbett and Jennifer Klupik. Let's listen. We've been talking about your why, and now we're going to discuss 4 ways to find your why. Number 1, reflect on your childhood experiences and the stories that moved you. Sherpa Coaching calls this your north, using the compass as an analogy. Number 2, reflect on the stories you tell other people. Why do you tell those stories? And what are you known for based on those stories? Sherpa Coaching calls this your South. Number 3, what is the spark that moves you? What drives you? What inspires you? This is often called your West. And then finally, number 4, what is your essence? What are the smells and the sounds and the places that put you at peace? This is your East. So when you can reflect on those 4 things, then you'll be closer and closer to finding your own why. So let's review. Simon Sinek talks about your why as something that's unchangeable. And he describes it as, number 1, how you show up in the world. Number 2, the sum total of who you are. And number 3, the reason you choose to do what you do. Work, play, and often your educational choices. Then Sherpa Coaching talks about finding your why in terms of why it matters. And they use the compass as a guide to finding your why in that journey. And so the North represents childhood and formative years, the stories and experiences that shaped us. The South is the evidence of our why, things that we are known for, the stories we tell other people. The East is things that bring us peace, our essence. And finally, the West are the things that excite and encourage us, the spark that drives us. So now that we know all of this, why is it all important? Why is finding your why important? Well, as Michael Jr. told us, when you know your why, your what becomes more impactful. Your purpose becomes clearer. And when we live misaligned with our why, we feel like we're going through the motions. We feel unfulfilled in our careers, we lack purpose, and we lack motivation. So, this activity on finding your why will be linked below the video. And this will use some of the information that we've learned today to take us on a journey of finding our why. So, thank you for joining us today for this session on finding your why. And your exit ticket is also going to be found below the video.